Hey guys.
Hey everybody.
So it is week 5 of Simply the Springs, and we've got some really cool questions that people have asked.
Tres, cuatro, cinco. I'm not very great at Spanish, but because I've done it up to this point,
Yeah,
I feel like I gotta do it. After this one, I probably don't have it.
probably not.
Yeah. But I know cinco because Cinco de Mayo.
That's all right.
May 5th.
So we have 4 questions that we want to try to get to. Our third question is a little longer, so we might elaborate on it a little bit more. So we'll just see if we get to all of them. But the first one that we have is, did you enjoy CRS?
Oh, yeah.
And for those of you who are not familiar with CRS, it is Country Radio Seminar. We were actually on our way to CRS on our
episode 4.
Yeah, episode 4 of Simply the Springs. But yeah, we had a great time. We actually got to see Zach Brown Band and Hardy and
Garth.
Yeah, we got to see a lot of really cool. Yeah, we got to see Garth Brooks.
Garth from like 5 feet away.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I told Holly we should make the hashtag "Oh my Garth."
Yeah. Stuart
because
literally.
I'm still on cloud 9, and that was like a week and a half ago now.
So Garth Brooks comes out, and Stuart like looks at me, and he's like, "I might cry." He literally is like, "I might cry."
We're around artists all the time. We've been around, Carrie Underwood and Blake Shelton, lots of like big artists and things. And it's cool to be around, Jason Aldean or whoever you can think of. But to me, like, I love 90s country music,
well,
especially.
I think it's people that you grew up listening to. Yeah, so it just like has an even more effect on you when you see them in person.
And Garth was who I listened to all the time with my Walkman. If you guys know what a Walkman is, you can comment below and let me know that you know what a Walkman is. But I listened to Garth all the time. So Garth was like the only person I would fangirl over. And he was at CRS, so do we have a good time at CRS? Absolutely.
It was awesome. We're looking forward to next year, because it's also a lot of like learning the business side of like country radio and that kind of stuff. So it's good not only like for us to like see artists play, but it's also good because we get to meet a
lot of industry people, a lot of radio people. With it being radio seminar, they're all there. So
it was really fun.
Love you, Sheree. Side note.
If you could tour with anyone, who would you choose?
Okay, you answer first.
Oh man, I was gonna make you answer first.
I mean, I would love to tour with Garth, obviously, because I'm a huge Garth fan. But I would love to tour with Lady Antebellum. They would be fun to open up for, because we pull a lot of our stuff from them and from Little Big Town. So either one of them would be really cool to open up for. I feel like Darius Rucker would be fun to open up for. But I've always told Holly that I feel like eventually one day I'm gonna be best friends with Josh Turner. And I feel like we would be like pals. So I would love to play with him. We've played shows together.
I have to agree with you on the Lady Antebellum thing, because I really like Lady Antebellum.
I love Liam Womack.
I love Liam Womack. I almost feel like Shania Twain would be really cool to like open up for.
Shania would be super cool.
Like, I love Shania, so
there's lots of people that we would open up for. Those are people that we love. We just feel like our brands lined up pretty well together with all of those type people. There's certain people that I don't think would line up that well with our fan base or our type of music, but those people definitely would. So
yeah, for sure. Great question.
Cool, love that.
Okay, so I'll let you read this one.
Okay, so the question is, this may be a touchy question, but can you elaborate on your post from December 31st about 2018 in the music business? I guess some insight into what it's like to try to get your music heard and trying to get a record deal. You are awesome. Well, thank you. You are awesome, and so is that question. So the music business is a very difficult business, and Holly and I think, both moved to Nashville. We didn't know each other when we moved here, but both of us moved to Nashville thinking that talent alone would get you a record deal.
Yeah, we've been here for 9 years now.
But we've only been a duo for 4 years, or now this will be our 5th year.
Yeah.
I think, right? Or is it our 4th year? I think it's our 5th year, because we became a duo in 2014. Yeah, so our 5th year of being a duo.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's not based on talent, but that's partially because there's so much talent in Nashville. If it was based solely on talent, then there'd be 2,000, 3,000 people with a record deal.
Yeah.
Because everybody's talented. I mean, everybody that moves to Nashville was the best in their hometown, and
well, and I think, in our post, we were just kind of reflecting on last year. And obviously last year we came out with a new album, which
did really well for us.
Did really well. And I think the hardest thing about that kind of stuff, though, is like when we come out with music like that and it does so well,
you expect to be noticed.
Yeah. But I mean, not that we like haven't been noticed by people, but it's just those certain people that like you want to be noticed by, and you're like, how do we get noticed by these people? So I think
it's like being on the playground and you're trying to get noticed by the really, really hot chick that you've always wanted to be with. But you get noticed by her friends or, some other girls that are also pretty, but they're not like the beautiful one that you've been like the goal girl.
Yeah.
And so then that's kind of how it is. I don't know if that's a great comparison, but I think that's understandable. It's like going through a basketball season or a soccer season, football season, and as a football fan, if your team goes to a bowl game, that's great and you're excited for them, but you really want them to go to the big game. Things like that. It's like
and I think we've kind of realized it. Well, we've obviously always known this because we are Christians, but it's all in God's timing, and sometimes that's really hard to like accept, especially when we have been here for 9 years, and we work hard, and we try to always put God first, and we try to be nice to people, and we try to constantly be working towards music. We also, have bills to pay. So, jobs outside of that is also important to us. But, we would like to start a family one day. So it's really hard to like see another year go by, and not that we feel like we haven't been successful, but, and not that a record deal is going to like make us successful, because that's definitely not true. Just because you have a record deal doesn't mean anything.
Right.
But,
and they say once you get a record deal, that's kind of like almost the start of your career.
Yeah.
You're pretty much starting from square one, because you have to work to be able to keep the record deal, to keep your fans, to get on radio.
Yeah.
So even that's not the end all be all for us.
And
so don't think that that's what we were saying. We were just saying that we wish our goals would happen quicker. But like Holly said, we know it's all in God's timing as Christians, and patience is a virtue, and we know those things, but
and trying to get a record deal, I mean, in this town, like, you have to realize people are putting a lot of money into your career. Like, we've actually had a few label meetings. We had one
this year.
Yeah, this year and then past year with a few different labels, but And nothing bad ever, said or anything, but just we weren't the right person for them. And
at this time.
At that time. And you have to understand they're putting millions and millions and millions of dollars behind you. And so they really have to feel like that, you're what they want or need at the time. So.
Well, and for those of you who are wondering why you spend a lot of money in these businesses, because it costs money to record, it costs money to release music, it costs money to have pictures, it costs money to put on a tour, to buy buses or trailers or equipment, those kind of things. There's lots of things that come into the music business, and someone has to be willing to spend that money on you. Yeah. And the thing is those people who work at record labels or management companies are bombarded daily by people that want to be stars, and everybody's mom thinks they're the best singer ever, and that's fine.
A lot of people ask us too, how can we help you get a record deal, or what do we need to do? And honestly, what I tell people is just, if you can just constantly share our stuff on Facebook.
Comment on it.
Come to a show. I mean, the more bodies that are in seats at shows obviously looks better,
And the success that we have had is because you guys have done that.
Yeah.
The CDs we sold last year, getting to 33 on Billboard, that was the sales chart.
Yeah.
And that meant
That's
you guys bought CDs.
And shared stuff on social media to prepare for when the CD came out. Everybody bought it. So
what you're doing right now is exactly what you need to do. But if you're not doing those things yet, and you
Please
want
do
to
it.
help us out, that'd be the greatest way
Exactly.
to be able to share our stuff and comment on stuff and come to shows. But either way, we absolutely appreciate your support. We appreciate you watching episode 5 of Simply the Springs, and we'll come out with episode 6 and answer more of your questions next week.
That's right. We've got lots of them. So.
If you haven't sent in a question yet, you still can. We'll post the link on this post, and share it also in our bio on Instagram. But thanks so much for watching episode 5 of Simply the Springs.
Thanks.
Have a good week.